Okay. In honor of a very successful job interview today, it's essentially it ended, and she's just like, okay, well, I'll run your background check, and we can expect you to start. And we picked out a date and everything, and I'm like, okay, I'll go tell my current employer. Yes, so I have essentially been hired, provided that my background check doesn't come back and I'm like a serial killer or something. But I don't think I'm in danger of that. So I'm essentially hired, which means I can, for the most part, finally leave the world of retail. Now, there's nothing wrong with working a retail job. It's a service that needs to be provided, but sadly does not warrant the respect that it deserves. Simple thank yous, looking me in the eye like I'm a person kind of thing. And just a lot of systemic stuff in society that just needs to change. So in honor of that, I'm going to tell a few stories of a few, like, WTF moments of the past 2 years of me working in retail at Joann Fabrics and Crafts and Lane Bryant, because I've done both. Two at the same time for a while. For instance, a moment that I just couldn't understand at that time was when I first started working at Joann's, my senior year of college, and this happened, I think, sometime in the spring, late spring, early summer, because we were getting ready to move. Because this is the Joann's that I refer to as the hole-in-the-wall Joann's. This was the Joann's I went to when I had that bike accident. So we were, like, I believe we had stopped receiving shipments of items, and we were just working on selling down our stock. So I was working the cutting counter, condensing items, just generally helping everyone. And, for the most part, having a good day. People are excited that we're getting a new store, so they're nice. They're also excited about the sales, because everything's super cheap, because everything must go, kind of thing. And, it's generally an awesome day, and I'm, like, generally helping, like, 4 people at once, kind of thing. Because all the notions, like the needles and the elastic, are, like, right behind me as I'm at the cutting counter, so I'm helping someone at the cutting counter. Someone has a question with the notions, so I have to, like, lean back and answer that and stuff. But, people are nice. It's okay. They're respectful. For sometimes. At least these people were. It was a pretty good day. And then this one woman just comes up and she just, like, wants my full attention right then and there. And I'm just like, I'll be with you in a minute, ma'am. I'm already helping this guest. And she, like, just stands there and, like, looks at me. And I'm like, and I go and help the other guest. And then I hear and then when I'm done, I turn around and she's gone. And so then I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be that way, you obviously didn't want my help that bad. But yeah, so I go along my business, and then I think it was like maybe 2 hours later, we were slower, and the phone rang like 3 times in a row. So, and there was no one at the cutting counter, so I'm like, okay, she's busy at the register, she can't get it, I answer it. And so I do. And it just so happens to be that lady. And she's talking to me, and she's disappointed in the quality of service that I gave her. And I'm just like, they gotta be nice. And I'm like, well, Sorry you feel that way, ma'am. I say a bunch of, nebulous, polite things, but at the same time kind of being like, it's not. I mean, I was already helping a guest. And then she, just comes out and says, just like, well, I may not just shop at Joann's ever again. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry to hear that, blah, 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 blah. And she's just like, well, I hold some great influence in quilting circles and quilting guilds in this area. And I'm just like, did you just threaten to, spread the word around that and have your guild not shop at our store anymore? Like a threat? Like, you think... Did you just threaten my job, lady? I'm just a store clerk. And he's like, And it's just like, would you like to speak to my manager? And it just, was out of my hands from there. But it's just like, she said the word just like, I have influence in the quilting guild. Like it was just big shit. Like, this is like West Wing politics will change the very face of Joann's. Well, lady. Or it will be, because it closes at least Joann's. Well, not right now, because it's holidays stuff and whatnot, and hours are different. But generally, weekdays close at 9. It closes at 9. So, of course, we get people coming in at 8:50, wanting, 12 different cuts of certain fabrics a certain way, and it's just like, of course, 10 minutes before we close. But there was this one particular time I did it for. There's this back in Cedar Rapids. There was this, you have your regulars that are nice, and you have your regulars that are where, the store clerks actively hide, or you draw straws to see who's the one that gets to deal with them this time. And no, I wasn't at the cutting counter, but I was putting away fabric. My coworker helped her, but so I saw the transaction in passing. But this lady tends to always typically get silky fabrics, like the polyester silky stuff, or organza or chiffon, or the slippy slidey fabrics that are hard to cut accurately. And she usually gets them in these ugly taupe and beige and cream colors, and it's just these are all really bland. You're bland, and you're a bitch. Because this is also, for instance, opening day at the new Joann's. Because it was, if you were the first so many people inside the store, you got a coupon that was really awesome, or a gift card, or your name was put in to enter in a really big gift card. She came in and she literally wanted one for her and one for her 5-year-old son. Because he's gonna buy fabric. And it was a big how-to-do. Store manager had to come out and everything. Because this lady wanted a coupon for her son. I see what you're doing there, lady. While there technically is no rule against it, it's a dick move. Dick move. But yeah, this particular time, her son happened to not be with her, I do believe. But he was a little brat which probably isn't totally his fault. He's just following examples that he gets, and there's little to no guidance, because he'll, be a little shit. And she doesn't say or do anything to, like, oh no, don't throw things on the floor. No, don't run around screaming. No, don't, I forget, he did something. I think he, reached around and, the cutting counter and, took one of our pairs of scissors. It's not cool. Not cool. Yeah. This particular time, she came in, 10 to close with, a cart full of these slippery, silky fabrics that take forever to cut accurately, and she only wanted, a little strip. She just wanted a little bit. Which, I guess people think that, oh, I just want a little bit. So you can cut that really quick, and it'll be fine, and it's not a big deal. You're like, no. When you have small cuts like that, you have to be more accurate. And that's harder anyway, and it's harder with the slippery fabrics. And you're such a bitch. But yeah. And while I was putting away fabric, and I would come back and I'd hear, my coworker trying to make pleasant conversation, and then just this woman shooting her down each time, accusing her of cutting crooked and shorting her pretty much on every turn, and making her remeasure a lot. And I mean, I know some people are inaccurate, some people are crooked, but demanding your fabric get remeasured every cut, every time, is just really rude. It's really rude and demeaning. There's you see all these pins on my name tag? It means I do a good job. People like me. But yeah, and then at one point I come back and she sets her bag on the cutting counter, which is also a big annoyance because that's our workspace. I need that counter for the fabric and my tools. You have a cart. Put your bag in your cart. But no sooner does she set her purse on the counter, this little dog jumps out of her purse and just trots all over our counter. It's just first of all, you can't have a dog in the store. I mean, I know it's it was a little silky terrier. It was a cute little dog, but not cool. And it's just I wasn't gonna push the matter. I wanted her out of the store. But yeah. I mean, well, man, it's just ma'am, I can't have the dog on the counter. You just put the dog in the purse. Just do that. I mean, it's bad enough when people put their children on the counter. They just set the kids on the counter after holding. No, you hold your child. Because it's the same thing. You're just you're putting your child all over my workspace. You're putting your child with their grubby hands and their germy bottoms all over my counter. And dirty shoes. All over my counter, which needs to be clean. And stuff like that. But yeah, so we finally get her and her fabric done. It is by now, it is 20 minutes past closing. We were, at that time of the year when this happened, we were usually gone by then. Because, we get, the last hour, last hour of business is not that busy. So we can, get stuff done. Maybe take trash out and sweep. We can get those kind of closing procedures done early if traffic is low, which was usually the case. So we were usually gone by then. We hadn't even started these closing procedures because of this lady. And then she gets to the register, and then my other coworker, rings her up, and and that can't be right. It can't be that expensive. So she demands a calculator and takes all the prices from the receipt and then manually puts it all together in the calculator. And then she also wants, but then she's doing this in such a way that our manager had to be, just like, you know, out of courtesy and, you know, just out of retail, our manager had to be there the entire time to talk her through it and to assure her that prices are right. No, you can't use that coupon. Everything you got is already on sale. Yes, the computer automatically does that. And that eats up our time too, because manager has to do certain closing of the registers, stuff in the back that I don't know about because that's a manager thing. And she just, it's like 40 past closing. And we're all really ready to go home, but this woman just eats our time. And it's just like, you know, lady, you know what you're doing and you enjoy it. Because that's also a thing, I think, of the, you know, the customer's always right, people, is that they're always insecure in their own powerless lives, so they take it out on unsuspecting retail workers because they enjoy and they get off of that power that they have because they have none in real life. Yes. Or there was one time when I was working at Lane Bryant, and you know, I find Lane Bryant was always a more friendly environment. You'd think, oh, crafters, they're nice people, little old ladies and granny. No. Crafters are ruthless. But yeah, no, Lane Bryant was also nice. If any of you guys don't know, Lane Bryant is a store for plus size ladies. I fit into like the lower registers and everything. Sometimes cut, you know, different cuts of fabric, different clothes. But yeah. And you know, I was helping this one lady, you know, ferrying her stuff back to the dressing room, setting her up with, you know, a few different outfits that she might like, throwing in some stuff because I have to, or at least I'm encouraged to. And, you know, she's just trying on this one shirt, and then she's like, oh, this one's a bit really tight. Could you go fetch me the next size up? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. And then I go to, and she's like, wait, do you think you could help me out of this one first? I don't want to, like, rip it or anything. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You know, that's okay. That's legit. It happens. And she's like, you know, sometimes, you know, women just like, can you come into the dressing room and help me rather than me coming out? Some people are shy and stuff like that. Or they just like, I don't know how this fits or if it's supposed to be like this. Will you come in and help me? Which happens a lot, especially with bra fitting. Because, you know, it's just like I think it's 80% of the women in the entire world, but a lot of America as well, don't wear the right bra size. I'll probably do more stories about that too, because this is a really important thing in a woman's life, in everyone's life actually, because if a woman is that miserable because of her bra, she affects everyone around her. But yeah, no, but this woman just like, yeah, can you help me out of this shirt? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't really, if you rip it, it's no difference to me. We'll have to damage it out and whatnot, but I don't really care. But I'll come help you. And she like, you know, puts the door open a little bit, and I like peek in to go like to sneak in and help her, because you know, some people like their privacy. And then I look at her and I'm just like, you know, she's, you know, like kind of got the shirt like kind of like bunched up in a weird way, and she's like, I can't like move it, and I'm like, ma'am, that's a button-down shirt. And she's like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, so I shut the door. And I mean, we laughed about it and whatnot, but it's just like, are you serious? That's a button-down shirt. That's a button-down shirt. You're not supposed to pull it over your head. It's a button-down shirt. It was on the folded table with all of the other button-down shirts.